Guitar tuning stability. If your guitar is not staying in tune, it could be one of several issues that are making that happen. And in terms of my Gibson SG, it was having tuning problems, and a string change and some application of Big Ben's nut sauce helped a little, but did not solve the problem. So what measure am I taking next, and how's it gonna go? Let's find out in today's video. So guys, I welcome you today to the Rumblin' Man channel. This is a guitar and bass channel in which we review guitars, basses, related gear, tutorials, pretty much anything and everything that pertains to guitar and bass. We try our best to check it out here on the Rumblin' Man channel. So if you are not yet subscribed, and if this is your first time here, then I encourage you to go in and hit the subscribe button because I think you will enjoy the content. And likewise, if you're a regular viewer today and you're here, thank you so much for coming back. And I encourage you to hit the thumbs up button as usual so that YouTube will include this video in searches related to the products and concepts that we are discussing in today's video. Tuning stability with guitars is a crazy subject because you get in all these online groups and guys insist it's this, it's always this, it's always the nut, it's always this. But in actuality, if your guitar is not holding tune, there are several different things that could be the situation. As for me, I recently came across and got via trade this excellent Gibson SG. I love it. It sounds great. Thanks to a great setup, it plays amazing, and it's just an awesome rock axe. The problem is, though, I can't really get it to stay in tune for very long. And so on one of my most recent videos, we reviewed some Big Ben's nut sauce lubricator applicant, and I explained how it works and showed you how to apply it. And I did these things with a string change, hoping that it would completely eliminate the tuning stability issues that I was having. So we did, and it's a lot better even right now. It's in pretty good tune, but I've still noticed as a couple weeks have passed that it's not holding tune perfectly. And if I'm recording with this guitar, I have to pause and retune more frequently than I do with other guitars. I hopped online and I perused some YouTube videos and even chatted in some online Facebook groups about the subject of tuning stability for SGs, and almost everyone says it's the nut, and many say that Gibson's nuts are not slotted correctly. Well, I find this perplexing, so today I have decided to take this guitar to the setup master in my neighborhood who can really point me in the right direction and answer some questions for me. I even purchased a nut on Sweetwater for him to potentially install if it fits. So let's go and let's visit my friend and guitar tech, Jeff. The nut's never going to fit.
That's correct.
No, Jeff. I got it on the internet.
No, I know you did.
And it said it was for Gibsons. Well, do you want a nut?
It is that much higher than the nut you have in there. You see that?
Yeah, well, that's why I came to you,
If I put the bottom of that nut, that means we've got to take half of that nut away for this nut to work. And
well, in that case, forget it.
yes, it says for Gibsons, but it doesn't say for what Gibsons.
The reason I decided to upgrade the nut potentially is because the internet said that if you're having trouble staying in tune excellently, that it's the nut's fault.
Yeah, well, the internet doesn't know what they're talking about. Could be 10 different things.
Well,
it's only the nut's fault if the string binds in there. See how this moves?
Yeah.
It's not binding, and you don't hear it go ping when it releases.
Right.
A high nut slot would mean that the only effect that would have on the tuning is that if you fretted up here, it would be sharp.
Right. And I customize the way I fret things per the guitar.
So is that the tuning problem, or is it just not staying in tune?
It'll stay in tune for, a minute or so. and after that, it's done staying in tune. Usually, honestly, when I upgrade the tuners, that usually kind of makes things more beautiful.
You know, but these tuners are fine.
The Klusons.
Yeah, I mean, they're vintage style tuners, but they're Kluson Deluxe.
They're good vintage style tuners.
Now, I will tell you that, I mean, how much have you played it?
A great deal. But I will say, it has, ever since I put these strings on, it wasn't staying tuned really good at first, but now it is, because they've been like stretching.
Well, and they're still stretching, because I just stretched them again, and they're down a full step. So they're still...
Really? They're still stretching?
They're still stretching.
But I tried to like stretch them out hardcore. Like I used my hands and...
Wow, your hands.
That's...
Did you put 11s on this?
Indeed I did, and shortly after I put 11s on it, you, Sir Jeff, adjusted the action for me and did a great job. It's been playing amazingly.
Yeah. It is still stretching.
So they're still stretching.
So there's the E.
How does one stretch their strings to completion?
I mean, you can just pull on them, but the best thing to do is to put your fingertips underneath it and your thumb in front of it.
Really?
And just and push against each other all the way up the string.
See, that's not something I knew.
Because that'll stretch it in each. I mean, stretching this will. If you just do this, it'll stretch in the ends.
Yeah.
But if you do this, you're stretching the whole string every couple of inches.
This is the kind of thing that we people watching YouTube need. Jeff, you should just start your own channel.
And now it's down a half a step. So
Holy cow.
I just stretched it half a step just by stretching, which means it's still got some stretching to go in it. So now I bring it up to pitch.
This is a really good shot.
And I'll stretch it again. I'll do the same thing. And each time you do this, it should drop a little less than the time before until it stops.
But these strings have been on here for like 3 weeks. What the heck?
See? That's just stretching it out.
Weird. See, I thought they were so well stretched. I thought I had just beautifully stretched them.
Guitar players, don't tell anybody in your audience.
Okay.
But guitar players hardly ever know shit about their own guitar. They keep bringing them back to people like me and saying, hey, playing doesn't really stretch a lot.
Right.
It just moves it, a tenth of an inch or something back and forth. You really have to, especially if you put, especially for two things. One, they're relatively new strings, and two, they're heavy gauge strings.
Yeah.
They take more to stretch than the nines would do.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying, Jeff, is that this guitar needs no hardware upgrade.
I don't think so.
I guess that's why they call it a Gibson and not an Epiphone. Because everybody on the Gibson Facebook group says, "Hey, you need to get a new nut."
Well, of course they say that. You know who says that?
Guys who don't know what they're talking about.
People who spent money on a new nut. I want you to spend the same money on the same nut.
Well, for Christmas, I got you a nut, Jeff. So
this is huge. This is like this is as big as a bass.
Put it on a bass, Put it on your SX.
And it says that it's slotted, but these slots are nowhere. See how those slots are almost all the same width?
Those are like slots from a rinky-dink acoustic guitar. See, why didn't I know these things? You think I had?
They're all almost the exact same width.
That's retarded.
And
not in a good way either.
And guitars have one big fat string, and then down here they have a skinny string.
Well, here is a rumor I heard.
This has to be almost completely recut.
Let's see if you can debunk this rumor.
Okay.
Is that Gibsons, because of the way the tuners are dispersed to the left and right, really, they say that a nut should actually be slotted at a slant on each side. But that Gibson refuses to do that, so that pretty much every Gibson just needs a new nut, is what they say. These guys are real. They will watch this video of me saying these things.
Yeah. So that means everybody in the world who buys a Gibson has to buy a new nut and cut their slots at a slightly different angle for their 3/3 headstocks.
That's what
have you read that somewhere, that every Gibson has to have a new nut and have them recut?
A man on YouTube said it, and it wasn't me.
I've got a very expensive Gibson up there. played by one of the world's greatest rock and roll guitar players.
Then I hope you slotted that
Mr.
nut.
Pete Townsend.
He played that exact guitar.
Well, no, he played. Well, yeah, he played one guitar just like that in 1969.
Well, I hope you slotted that nut sideways.
No, it's the same nut he played. And he played fine.
Well, no. Rumor debunked. Oh man, that thing is sweet.
That's right. Pete Townsend.
Those are like some old road-worn Grovers.
Look at that. Look at that serial number. Pete Townsend. 380. The 180 of 250. 180 of 250 made.
Check out how old the tuners are. Want to trade?
Got a little shine on it.
Yeah, it does.
Got a little binding on it. Nice yellowed binding.
What year was this made?
This is made like 2000 or something.
That's vintage.
This is a reproduction of the '69 guitar.
Got the P90s going. Man, you come up with all these random bass amps that you just find. AB50 kickback. That's a great little amp.
Yes, it is.
Is that your main amp, your go-to?
No.
No, that's a sweet stack, man.
Yep.
You got a B14 cab, B200 Hertz head, all by acoustic, accompanied by an HSH or SSS or HSS strap body. Beautiful gloss maple, as we all like glossy finishes.
That's true oil. It's no gloss. That's just oil.
Oh, did you oil it?
Yep, I've been oiling it. It's got 10 layers on it. I got lots more to go. But
Wish I had your talents.
It's going to be a true oil only finish.
That's freaking awesome.
Look at the back of it. You'll see the difference.
Yeah, dude. Wow, look at that. What in the universe is that?
That's what I thought you were going to say. I'm not finished with it yet.
You're building this?
I have to No, it's my Mexican Strat, but I'm turning it into a Robbie Robertson Last Waltz Stratocaster.
Dude, so you've got basically a HS configuration. Does the humbucker coil tap?
It's not a humbucker.
Looks like a humbucker.
No, it does. But you notice that the sides don't match up. It's two single coils.
And a 5-way switcher, so it would work like a regular Strat.
But I have three. I did this as a proof of concept, so I knew that I could make it. I ordered the pickguard from London, it's Robbie Robertson pickguard, and then I took the regular pickups that were in the Strat and turned the middle one around so that the little dog ear that's on each end of them was facing the other way, and put them in there, and then wired it up. But in order for this to work properly, this has to be a reverse polarity, lefty Strat middle pickup.
For it to hum cancel.
Which I'm having hand wound for me by a company called Angel Tones. But I'm having them make that one just for me, and then I got two Guitar Fetish
GFS. Are those quick plug?
I got two Earl Slicks.
They're Slicks.
Bridge and neck Strat, vintage Strat pickups.
Oh, dude, I love the
I'm
Slicks.
going to drop those in there, put the left-handed reverse round, reverse polarity one in there, and then everything else is already wired up. So this will be Robbie Robertson's. He did this for two funny reasons. One, he didn't like having a pickup where he strummed. It annoyed him. And then he liked the idea of the sound he could get by moving this middle one down, and by moving it to position 4. By moving it to the position 4, you're using both of them.
Right.
And by moving it to 3, you're using what used to be just the middle, but it's in a completely different position under the strings. So it's behaves more like a bridge pickup than a middle pickup, but not quite.
Dude.
So this is going to be an Alnico 5 7-point-something K output custom pickup just for me.
Dude, that's so cool.
And then I will have another bucket list guitar, a Robbie Robertson Stratocaster.
Oh my gosh.
Now Fender will sell you one already made for $12,500.
For $12,000 billion.
Yeah.
So there you have it. So we hung out for a while, played some guitars, and then I am going home with the SG, which Jeff stretched out the strings really good, and also a little surprise guitar that will be the video after this one, a review of, you know what, I'll let you see part of the guitar. There you go. Sparkly and blue, that's all you get to see. So guys, as you can see, the guitar is playing great. It's sounding awesome. It's a really sweet axe, and the tuning stability gets better and better with every step we do for the setup of this guitar. However, did Jeff's string stretching routine today solve these problems that I've been having with tuning with this SG? Or is there still some issue? Is there some part of the guitar that needs to be upgraded? Well, you're going to find out in the next edition of my guitar setup and upgrades playlist. In this playlist, we're simply going to look at a multitude of different upgrades that you can make to your instruments, usually pretty affordable ones, and we're going to look at different aspects of setup. So make sure you check out the full playlist if you're viewing this video some weeks down the road, as we will have more videos about this SG and the things we're doing to keep it in tune coming soon. You know, sometimes it is, you know, as simple as, you know, stretching the strings. Other times it's not. So let me show you a couple of my guitars real quick that I don't have any tuning problems with at all, and I'll show you why. So this is my Telecaster, and it is my go-to electric guitar, hand in hand with that SG. You know, it's my rock horse. And I do not have problems keeping this Tele in tune. Now, you may say, why is that, Rumbling Man? Well, for one thing, it is a very well-made instrument. This is an American Fender Telecaster. But I'll say this, when I first got it, it didn't hold tune great. It held tune okay, but not great. So the first thing I did, I made an upgrade and I installed these Fender locking tuners. And I do that on all of my Fenders. Every Fender that comes into my possession, I get a set of these. Because I'm telling you, every single time I have put these on a guitar, the guitar has stayed in tune much better. So now, when I play this guitar, you know, it's got, you know, a great bridge with some vintage style brass saddles, and the nut's good. I mean, I believe it's a bone nut, or if it's synthetic bone, it's higher end synthetic bone. So what I do is I install these locking Fender tuners, and I use Big Ben's nut saws. And between those two things, I do not have issues keeping this Telecaster in tune. The same is true with my Fender Strat. Okay, so another situation here, you know, you could see some old videos of mine on YouTube from a couple years ago in which Jeff refurbished and fixed up this Stratocaster, but same thing. You know, first thing I did to this Strat when it wasn't staying in tune was locking Fender tuners. That took it up a million notches, but I was still having some tuning stability issues. So somewhere along the way, I did start using Big Bens with this, but with the help of Jeff, I did change the bridge. We upgraded the bridge on this thing. The nut we upgraded to a bone nut. So this guitar actually has a few different upgrades. It's got upgraded pickups. Of course, that affects tuning very little. But it's got upgraded tuners, upgraded nut, and an upgraded bridge. And guess what? I'm not having any tuning stability issues with this guitar right now. Now, this guitar may surprise you because it does me, but this is my FGN Strat, which was a gift from a couple YouTuber friends, Chris Volpini and Low End Lobster, good buddies of mine. I don't have any trouble keeping this guitar in tune. And you know what's funny? I've never had to do anything to this guitar. It is 100% stock from the Fujijin factory in Japan. I love these tuners. They're not even locking tuners, but they're really solid. Great bridge, great tremolo system. I can even use the tremolo bar some and not always have to retune immediately. This guitar holds tune like no other. And I really think that that is a testament to Japanese craftsmanship and Japanese workmanship that you get with FGN guitars out of the Fujijin factory in Japan. So if you're looking for an axe that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, and that's going to really hold tune and hold up great and still sound great and play amazingly, I really recommend checking out FGN. So guys, thanks so much for checking out this video today. If you want to chat gear and chat setup, you can do so in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the Rumblin' Man channel. Give me a thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's content, and we will have more videos for you related to guitars coming soon, okay? So God bless you guys. Thanks again for being here with me today, and I look forward to chatting with you. See you next time.